Yo, what is up guys? Valix View here, back with another Destiny 2 video. And today I'm just going to be going over all of the Season of the Splicer weapons, so the ones from Override, and going over what I think are the best roles for each weapon and what I'm hunting for and looking for in my reasoning why I'm hunting for that, and other roles I'd recommend. This will be mainly PvE focused as that's what I play, but I will throw in the occasional PvP recommendations for certain weapons that are usable in PvP. But anyways, let's just jump straight into it, and we'll go straight in with the Chroma Rush, the new kinetic auto rifle from this season. So we've got our stats on screen. It's 720 RPM, so it fires really fast, which makes it's very short range. You'll notice when you first start using it, is it very hard to use when an enemy is a bit far away. But those close range and mid range engagements with PvP or PvE is really good, and it's kinetic auto rifle. Gets buffed by the anti-barrier auto rifle mods this season as well, which is super handy. There's really high aim assist, really high mag, but it goes through that really fast. And the recoil's a bit wild, but as you can see, he will come down to the perks. And you've got your standard barrels. Obviously, I tend to focus on things with some stability, so corkscrew rifling is definitely something I'd be looking for. But anything that doesn't hurt stability is going to be a plus for me, because this gun's stability and recoil gets a bit wild. Tac mag is just amazing. It's just more mag, more stability, more reload, just great. All of these options, I guess, are fine, but tac mag's definitely one you want. Like accurize if you want more rounds, more range. Appended if you want a bigger magazine size. Steady rounds if you're really struggling with the stability, but you lose a little bit of range. And then into the third and fourth columns, so there's a few perks here that I like. So obviously for PvE, Feeding Frenzy and Subsistence are god tier and work really well with the fourth perk columns as well. But if you're looking for PvP, Heating Up, Moving Target, and Tunnel Vision are all definitely usable. I really like Heating Up because it gives you that stability control, so you can get those back-to-back kills. Super nice, but this is going to be mainly PvE focused, so we'll just stick to that. So the roles I would want would be Feeding Frenzy multi-kill clip. And you just get one kill and then you can reload, have the kill clip buff, and then just spam down the rest of the kills. But the absolute best role I would want on this weapon is what I'm trying to get myself is Subsistence Rampage, because it's just insane. You can just shoot forever. Essentially, you have so many bullets in the mag, you get so many back from the Subsistence. Rampage is just stacked out. Subsistence and Rampage is just amazing together, because the downside of Rampage is normally when you have to reload, you lose the buff, but the Subsistence just really extends the duration you have Rampage for, and just those two together are insane. You could always use Wellspring if you were using an ability focus build with Subsistence, or even Feeding Frenzy. Kill clip's not bad. I would much prefer if that was multi-kill clip, but if you have a heavy grenade focus build, you're doing a lot of grenade final blows, Adrenaline Junkie is meh, but Subsistence Rampage is definitely where it's at on this weapon for me, and is what I'm hunting for. I don't even know if I have one. I don't think I even have a Chroma Rush at the moment that I've even kept, because the ones I've gotten are all so terrible. But moving on from here, we are into the Ignition Code. This weapon is very hyped this season because it can roll with a very unique perk that makes it have a interesting place in the use and meta rates of PvE, especially. It's a lightweight frame grenade launcher. It when you use it, you'll find that you shoot the grenade and it doesn't always go dead straight. Like sometimes it'll just go off to the right or off to the side, so it's a bit annoying that way. Even if you line up like one of the smaller targets like a Scion, and you line them up in the center and you shoot directly at them, and it just misses for no reason, is quite frustrating. But we'll come down here to the perks, and got hard launch and quick launch are both very good. I think I have hard launch on mine. Velocity increase, so the travel time of the grenade is much better. Spike grenades is definitely my one here, so you direct hit, deals more damage, but you can also use blinded grenades for like harder content like GMs to keep everyone constantly blinded. But I want spike grenades for the damage. And then slide shot, this is what makes the weapon insane. you can do is, instead of having the reload, you just slide and can reload your gun. But what you do is, if you run and start your slide, shoot the second you start your slide. By the time your slide's ended, you can shoot a second bullet. So you can just slide and just go bang bang with 2 grenade launcher shots, and it's super cool. Especially if you have reach and clear, you can just be proccing this constantly on any boss that you see. Especially pairing it with Vorpal weapon, slide shot and Vorpal for like, it's low key good DPS on a boss. Like, especially in overrides, fighting like the end bosses there. You can just run around the arena just sliding and just spamming grenade launcher shots off. If you don't like the sliding gameplay, which I understand it can be annoying in some places where the ground's not flat and it's a lot harder to slide, you can go Ambitious Assassin demo, get a kill with the grenade launcher, load 2 bullets into the mag, shoot both of them off, chuck your nade, shoot another 2 off, and then and do it that way. Frenzy is also really good if you are just planning to reload the weapon normally, because you get the buff procced and it just maxes out your reload speed and gives you a damage buff. So this is really good if you're using it to take out ultras or mages and just to general ad clear. So this gives you just a constant damage buff and some reload speed, so you don't have to do the sliding. But the slide shot Vorpal is just like underrated boss DPS. Like, if you're out of heavy and out of if you're out of your heavy and you're using a primary as your other gun, this is like low-key good DPS for bosses. Everybody loves One For All. I don't really like One For All, especially because this doesn't have a big explosion radius, so you actually have to hit 3, like, unless they're really close together, you actually have to shoot 2 or 3 grenade launcher bullets to proc One For All. It's unlikely you're going to proc One For All off of one shot unless they're very clumped. I don't rate One For All in this. I'm sure it's good, but from what I've tested and seen, I don't like it. And either any of these other 3 are better. So Frenzy, Demo, or Vorpal are definitely better than One For All in my opinion. So I'd be putting One For All on the bottom of the list of the top perks. It's still good if you get it, but I'd be looking for Slide Shot Vorpal, which is what I have. I kind of want an Ambitious Assassin Frenzy just because sometimes I'm too lazy to slide, and that would just be handy to just have it maxed out on reload with the 2 shots. I'm being super lazy there, so yeah, I'd go Ambitious Assassin Frenzy or Slide Shot Vorpal with Spike Grenade. If you get both of these on the one roll, you're cheering, but I've got one with Spike Grenades and one with something else. I think I can see what mine has. I've got Spike Grenades and Implosion Rounds, but I'm lucky there. But yeah, that's the rolls for the Ignition Code. Moving on from there, we've got the Sidearm, the Farewell. Not the biggest fan of sidearms. I really like the 3-burst one from Beyond Light, whatever it's called. I can't remember it. High Albedo. That was cool. Brass Attacks from last season was cool. I'm not really big on the single fire ones. But that said, you can get full auto, which alleviates a lot of the issues I have with it. But yeah, we'll go into the perks. It's a single shot sidearm, so you've got to constantly pull the trigger or click the mouse to shoot it and spam it off. Little barrel's good for handling and stability. Tac mag, just like the best mag perk. And then there's got Subsistence and Frenzy, which is super good. Like, if you have a Subsistence Frenzy roll, this gun would be super good. But just PvE, just constantly, because even if your Subsistence runs out and you have to reload, Frenzy's going to cap out your reload speed, so you're going to be have just permanent uptime on Frenzy. I liked full auto because I'm lazy as shit and I don't want to have to pull the trigger all the time, so I have mine with full auto, and I'm pretty sure it has a garbage perk in the 4th perk. I think it has Unrelenting or something, if I even have it still. No, I've got full auto and Frenzy, which is what I like. They're 2 of the laziest perks in the game. I don't have to pull the trigger all the time, and I don't really have to do any thinking or anything for Frenzy. It's just active if I'm playing the game, which is what I love, full auto and Frenzy. That's my ideal role because I'm lazy as shit, and I don't want to have to like do things to min-max DPS. But if you wanted to, you could go Subsistence, Multi-Kill Clip, Subsistence, Frenzy. Full auto, Multi-Kill Clip, or full auto Frenzy would be things I'd be looking for, but I've got the full auto Frenzy, so I'm happy with that. I don't know how this thing goes in PvP. I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest, but for min-max Subsistence Frenzy or Subsistence Multi-Kill Clip, if you're lazy like me and don't want to have to pull trigger that many times, full auto, Multi-Kill Clip, full auto Frenzy are what I go for. I wouldn't recommend Vorpal. You're not going to be shooting bosses with this. Thresh is nice if you really want to spam supers, but with the masterwork items, you get enough super energy just from like your teammates using supers and your masterwork orbs. Like yeah, you can get much better overall benefit from something else other than having your super more often. Next up is the grid skipper, which everybody is in love with. Mainly for PvP. For PvE, it's not quite as amazing. It's especially because there's no pulse rifle mods this season, so it's kind of not really good for PvE. We've got fluted barrel for the handling and stability. I like ricochet rounds just because you can, like in PvE especially, you can accidentally hit more than one target. But any of the round perks are good. I like ricochet rounds because they give range and stability. But these ones add some stagger to your shots as well, which can be helpful. So these are PvP perks. I don't know why they're there. I have heating up on mine, and I really like heating up. It makes because the weapon shoots so fast. It's 540 rounds per minute. With heating up, you can really easily control stability after you get like one kill. Especially because I've got heating up and frenzy on my roll, which is what I like. It makes it so easy to control the stability because you just get so much stability control from heating up. High impact reserves wouldn't be terrible. Multi-kill clip with slide waves would be pretty cool. So you could get a couple kills, slide to half reload your mag, and then finish it off to cap out the multi-kill clip. Snapshot, no, that's PvP. Thresh, again, I don't really like Thresh and Adrenaline Junkies. Unless you're using a very spammy grenade build, it's not worth it. I really like the heating up Frenzy. Tunnel Vision Frenzy is probably not bad if you're playing PvP or Tunnel Vision and High Impact. But heating up in Frenzy is what I've got for PvE, and I really like that. It gives it a lot of stability, makes it very nice and smooth to use, and you get just Frenzy is my favorite PvE perk just because of the easy access you have to it. It just doesn't require any thought process to use it all. It's just, I'm playing the game, and now I get to be better at playing the game. But just playing the game. I don't have to jump through a bunch of hoops to activate something. So yeah, heating up in Frenzy is my role that I'm looking for, and I'm pretty sure that's the one I have on my version, and then with ricochet rounds, and then any of the barrels, like as long as it doesn't lower your stability. Not big on the range. Range isn't 100% necessary for PvE, especially on a pulse. Like you don't end up using it for anti-barriers, which is you can't use this season, so it's not a lot of the things you're going to be close range for anyways. And moving on from the grid skipper, we've got the Sojourner's Tale, the new slug shotgun. Which at first I was like, oh sick, another slug shotgun with auto loading and assault mag. Fuck yeah, this is great. But then like the fourth perk is like, they're all meh. Like it's got frenzy. I love frenzy, but frenzy is mainly good for reloading, which you have auto loading for. But if you don't have a good slug shotgun, like you haven't got a good first in last out yet, can't do DSC to get a heritage, or you can't get a good one from Deepstone Crypt, this is a good alternative if you are looking for a slug shotgun to use. Especially because it's solar as well, which is nice. So you could whack on Dragonfly with this and have it make Warmind cells, which with Wrath of the Rasputin, which is an interesting way to use it. If you were just walking around clearing mages. We've got Hammerforge for the range, Salt Mag for the increased fire rate, which is just amazing. Auto loading, just so you can shoot your gun, put it away, use another gun, whoop your shotgun back out when it's done reloading. And then Surrounded and Frenzy are both good. They're both just straight up damage upgrades. Surrounded's going to give you more damage when you're surrounded by enemies, obviously. And then Frenzy is just, like I said, it's the lazy man's way to play. You don't have to do anything for Frenzy to activate. You just play. You get shot or you do shooting and you get a damage buff. So it's just great. Dragonfly would be interesting on this, honestly. I haven't got one with Dragonfly yet, but I reckon this would be pretty cool with auto loading and Dragonfly and just running around killing everybody with this, with Wrath of Rasputin, making Warmind cells with a shotgun. Like that would be cool. You wouldn't have to use the 7th Sarah shotgun. You could use this instead and have a slug shotgun. So you could have, it's like semi-major boss DPS as well as some minor ad clear. So you could kind of half do 2 jobs there, but not really do one perfectly. But that could be fun. I'd be on the lookout for one of these with Dragonfly, and any of the rapid hit or auto loading would be cool. But I definitely would be going auto loading with this. Stranded would be really good because a lot of the times when you're using a slug shotgun, you've got at least one enemy in range to proc surrounded because you're close enough to shotgun them in the first place, so you get some use out of it. But yeah, there's a few good rolls there. Dragonfly would be interesting. I'm gonna keep an eye out for a Dragonfly roll of that now. And then we've got the new Void LMG, which shoots way too fast at 900 rounds a minute, making it very difficult to control the recoil if you just full auto. But it has some interesting perks. I'd be looking for one of these with stability, so I'd be going with fluted barrel just for some extra stability. But if you wanted range and recoil, you go extended barrel. Is also handy. Tac mag, extended mag, both good. If you're really struggling with the recoil, you could whack on steady rounds, just to help control the recoil because it does shoot really fast. Field prep for faster reload and stow and ready speed when you're crouched, and you get more ammo reserves. This thing chews through bullets like there's no tomorrow. I like auto loading. Just pop it out, shoot whatever you need to, put it away. Heating up's pretty cool as well because you're getting kills and it makes the gun more stable, so it helps with full autoing it and controlling it. But yeah, I just don't really see a place that this is ever going to be used. It's got surrounded and rampage. Rampage is really good on this with I have heating up and rampage on my one, and it's not bad. You can kill a lot of the weaker enemies, but it's just the gun itself just has no real use. It's got no AoE damage, so it can't create Warmind cells with the Warmind's Decree. And it's you're never going to shoot a boss with it. It's just like it'd be an ad clearing weapon, and it's like for that you'd want rampage, and I'd say field prep just so you have more reserve, so you can actually kill a lot more low level enemies before you run out of ammo. But I don't really see this one having a good place. There's 2 better Void LMGs in the game, in the Commemoration from Deep Stone Crypt, and now the Corrective Measure from Vault of Glass. So if you wanted to use a Void LMG, I'd recommend getting one of those. But if you can't do the raid, this is a good backup if you desperately needed and wanted to use a Void LMG. Just be wary that it shoots really fast and the recoil is very hard to control. But yeah, I'd be trying to get field prep rampage on this with tac mag, and then whatever barrels. If you're a PvE player like me, the barrels aren't terribly necessary, but fluted barrel's always good for the handling and stability. But that's it for that. That's all the roles that I'm hunting for and would recommend going for the seasonal splicer weapons from Override. Hopefully you found something that you'd like to hunt for, or like me, you've figured out that, hey, I like to be lazy. I want to use frenzy and auto loading, or frenzy and full auto on a sidearm, so I don't have to think about what I'm doing. But yeah, if you like this video, guys, make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel for some more Destiny content. I stream most days on facebook.com/ValexFury, so come swing by there. I do Sherpa raids quite frequently, so if you need help with Deep Stone Crypt or Vault of Glass, come shoot me a message and I'll try and get you in for a Sherpa. But that's it from me, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.